Cute. Call time for closing night of Little Shop of Horrors is in less than 3 hours, so let's do my perfect stage makeup routine that takes my face from this to this. I already did all of my skin prep off camera, and I slugged my face with a little bit of Vaseline to create a barrier in between my face and the makeup that I'm about to put on it. I find that the best way to do your brows for theater is soap brows, so I take a little bar soap, any soap you want, I spray it with a little bit of water. And I just take a spoolie, either on the back of an eyebrow pencil or its own brush, and I brush some soap into my eyebrows. And then you just keep smoothing those up until they become tacky and flat to your face. I find that soap brows stay much better than any other brow gel or brow products or pomades. Now that my brows are all stuck down to my face, I like to go back in with my spoolie just to reshape them so they don't look so crazy. If you're the type of person who fills in your brows, I would do that now, but I don't typically do that, so I'm just going to take a little bit of makeup remover and I'm going to trace around my eyebrows just to get all that extra soap off. Now that my brows are done, I like to double check that my skin prep is all rubbed into my face, because next we are going to spot conceal. We're going to be covering this up later with a pretty thick layer of foundation, so this is just to really try to hide all that extra redness, hyperpigmentation, rosacea, acne. I also like to put a little bit of concealer above my eyes to act as an eyeshadow primer. I like to take a fan and I like to dry my concealer so that it is more full coverage before I blend it out. Now I take a concealer brush and I just like to stipple out any harsh lines. Do not worry too much about making it completely uniform since we're going to be covering it up with foundation. I need a little extra blending around my eyes, so I'm just going to take a damp beauty blender and tap that all out. Now we're going to cover that all up with a matte full coverage foundation in a shade that is slightly darker than your neck tone. Maybelline Fit Me is a great drugstore option. I use shade 105. I put a little on the back of my hand and I like to just swipe that across my cheeks and forehead and chin. Now you're going to want to blend this out with a damp beauty blender and getting it everywhere other than your eyebrows and your eyelids. Now the color in our face is as flat as we can possibly make it, so we need to add some of that dimension back in. You're going to want to do cream contour with a cool tone brown. I personally use the NYX Wonder Stick in shade Fair. You can just contour on both your temples, second your cheeks, go define your cheekbones, and right under your jaw, going back behind your ears. Remember that contour is cool toned, and anything that is warm toned with orange undertones is going to be a bronzer, not a contour. My makeup director likes us to get this Mayron palette for our stage makeup, so I like to take the white shade in here, and I like to put that right in the center of my forehead, on my chin, and on the tops of my cheekbones. Oh, and also I do a little bit on my upper lip. I then take a brush and I like to brush my contour up into my hairline. I like to take the back of my beauty blender just to tap out all of the white cream paint. Remember to make sure that all of your makeup is matte, because anything that is shiny or sparkly in stage lights is going to come out as sweat. You also want the lightest shade on your forehead to be right in the center and it to get darker as you come out, like a sunset. Some makeup designers don't let you do nose contour. Mine personally doesn't have an issue with me doing it, and I like to do it on myself, so I like to just outline my nose right there and pull that up into the top of my eyelid. I like to draw a little crease right there to make a little button nose and put a little bit at the bottom. And I take my white cream paint again and I just go right on the highlights of my nose. The contour in this area is much more concentrated, so I like to take a thin, fluffy brush and just blend that out. And then I tap out all of the white highlight with my finger. Look at how much just that changed my nose shape. I don't care whether you do or don't wear blush in real life. Blush is a necessity in stage makeup. I take a peachy terracotta blush. I believe this is the e.l.f. Putty Blush in the shade Bahamas. And I just like to pat that all into my cheeks. You are going to want a lot of blush or else you are going to look washed out. Again, no luminous blushes, only matte. If you go a little overboard with your blush, just tap it out with a beauty blender. Once you're sure that all of your cream makeup is exactly how you want it, you are ready to powder. I'm personally just going to tap out any creasing in my eye primer. I like to start with a pressed powder on any places where I sweat a lot. Then you're going to want to go over everything with a loose powder too. Take your powders with you to your shows because you're going to want to touch up your powder all the time. The other doo-wop girls and I powder our faces during intermission anytime we're off stage. When the stage lights hit your face, you want it to be as matte as possible. You can see from any angle that I hold this ring light, there is no shine on my face, which means that's going to look like an actual face in stage lights. Now we're going to go over all of our cream contour and blush and highlight with powder versions. Again, a matte terracotta peachy blush. I'm going to use this cool toned brown right here in my Shrek palette in order to do my nose contour. If you have matte highlighter, go ahead and use that, but I don't, so I'm just going to use some white eyeshadow to go over any of my highlight. For your actual eyelids, you're going to want to follow the same sunset technique that we talked about in the forehead, doing a lighter shade on the inside and then darker as you go out. I'll be using the shade Waffles in my Donkey palette. And with that same cool tone brown, I'll be going right in my crease. I'm going to just tightline all around my eye, and then we'll go in with some liquid eyeliner to do a wing later. If you mess up your eyeliner, you're going to want to have a Q-tip or a little rubber tool just to be able to smudge it out. I forgot to put my contacts in. If you wear contacts, do that first. You'll learn from my mistakes and put your contacts in. Oh my god, I got it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, back to makeup. Okay, back to eyeliner, now that my contacts are in. Once you've lined your eyes with your eyeliner pencil, you're going to take the same pencil and do a little outline of a wing in the corner of your eye. This stuff is much easier to smudge out and correct if you mess up, so I prefer to do this before my liquid eyeliner. Now I take my liquid eyeliner, mine's actually a marker, and I like to go over just the wing area. I didn't really mess up my eyeliner for the first time today, but if you do mess it up, take a thin brush and some makeup remover and just paint right over it. And if that took off any of your other makeup, you can just go over that again with some eyeshadow. Once you're happy with your eyeliner, curl your lashes and do mascara. I totally just smudged mascara all over my eyelids. If you're a false lash person, go ahead and do those. Personally, I'm fine with just my messy mascara. You should also be doing your bottom lashes with mascara, even if you don't normally do them in your regular makeup routine, because they will be invisible from on stage if you don't put mascara on them. If your mascara gets clumpy, just go ahead and brush it out with a spoolie. When did I get glitter on my tit? As for this little mishap right here, we're going to wait for it to dry before we deal with it. Instead, we'll move on to lips. So just take some makeup remover and remove all of the makeup that's already on your lips. Now, if your character isn't meant to have any color on their lips, you can just go in with a tinted lip balm or just chapstick or anything like that. Personally, though, these doo-wop girls are cundelicious. So I'm going in with a red lip liner. Life hack, if you want your lips to look fuller, instead of overlining your lips completely, just go right over your Cupid's bow. Now again, I'm going in with my Mayron Stage Makeup palette, and this shade is extremely dark, so I'm going to be mixing these two pink shades in order to make my perfect lipstick color. Now I'm going to take some nude tinted gloss just to go right over that and dull out the color a little bit more. And then throughout the show, I'll go in with a clear gloss. Your lips are the only thing on your face that can be glossy. Now, once the smudge mascara has dried, I like to take this little eyebrow brush thing and just scrape it off. If you don't have one of those, you can use a spoolie, though. That didn't work. Alright, I'm just tapping some concealer from my concealer brush on there, and I'll go in with some eyeshadow just to fix up the contour. Again, we are constantly touching up our powder and our blush, but otherwise, we are done! This routine takes me just over an hour to complete. It takes me even less time if I'm not filming, and if I remember to put my contacts in. But these steps will guarantee that your face shines and lights up unlike anybody else's on that stage. Feel free to leave any of your own stage makeup tips in the comments below, but otherwise, break a leg and have a good show. Alright, so I've got a full beat on now of stage makeup, and my hair's been in heatless curlers for too long. I just want to do my hair at this point. However, I still have like an hour and a half. I'm just going to take my heatless curlers out. Oh my god. A little nervous because I was way too tired from a 2-show day last night to do a good job on these. Oh, never mind. Oh, maybe they're good. I also did not sleep in a bonnet, so they might be frizzy. Okay, wait. Wait a minute. Oh, I love heatless curls. Oh, these actually serve cunt. Okay, I'm gonna go spray these.